Stephanie Rogers is the CEO of Story Jam. She's the queen of all that she surveys. She's magnificent in her munificence. Stephanie is a Chicago storyteller. You'll hear some of her Chicago stories. Of boys and men, Stephanie Rogers. Stephanie Rogers.
Hello, Cedar Rapids! Woo! I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Corey. Queen of all she surveys. Really? I'm 7 years old, and we're having dinner in the dining room today. I know this must be a special occasion because we usually have dinner in the den, and it's usually a TV dinner. And today, Mommy has made a big fancy meal: steak, peas, and rice. Everybody's very quiet. I don't know why we're all so quiet. Me, my sister, my mother, my father. I'm at a big girl table now, so I have to eat like a big girl. So I take the big girl fork and I put it next to the rice, but I can't get the rice onto the fork. So I use my other hand to push the rice on to help it. And then I take a bite. Silence. And then I do it again. I know I'm not doing anything wrong. My father has a terrible temper. If I say the wrong thing, he will yell. I haven't said anything wrong. I'm just eating my dinner. My throat tightens. My father is watching me push the rice onto the fork. I look up at him, and he stands up. And he says, "You rude, unmannered child, don't you know how to eat? Use a fork, not your fingers." I'm 7 years old, and all I know is I am terrified of my father. Hi, Miss Stephanie. My name is Theo, and I'm 4.75 years old. I see that you have 3 4-year-olds and 4 5-year-olds in our class. What are we going to be doing today? I love dolphins and I love dogs. I've just met Theo. I'm a preschool teacher, and I need this job at the Old Town School of Folk Music in Chicago because it's my Saturday gig, because my weekly preschool teaching job does not pay me enough for my theater habit at night. Theo. I've never met anybody like Theo in my few years of teaching preschool. He's special, he's magical. He's a little different, and I have such a warm, big heart for this kid because I know that Theo is not gonna have it easy in life. He's probably gonna be an outsider. He's probably not gonna make it in normal kids' school. He might get picked on. He might get bullied. And I know what it's like to be picked on and bullied. I love Theo because Theo is an underdog. It's March 2024. And there must be a blue moon outside because I am checking my LinkedIn. Artsy people do not go on LinkedIn. We go on Instagram or Facebook. LinkedIn is for like people who are, business people, like suits, normal people who have business plans and go to business school. I'm on my LinkedIn and I see that I have a message from somebody named Rich. Rich, who ruined my life 30 years ago. Why the hell is Rich reaching out to me on Facebook? When do rocker swagger guys with long hair and earrings and leather jackets go on LinkedIn anyway? I open the message and it says, "Hey, was passing through Chicago, thought of you. That never happens, WTF." I'm like, there he is again. So I write back, "Are you dying?" And he writes back pretty immediately, "You're still funny." And this launches us into like a 3-day conversation where we start sharing our lives and sharing pictures of our families. Where do you live? How many kids do you have? What have you been doing these last 30 years? And suddenly it's like we're friends again, and we totally forgot all the horrible stuff that happened 30 years ago. And this guy who ruined my life, I'm actually starting to warm up to him a little bit again. It took me 10 years to get over him. He had a violent streak. He had a swagger. He was a rocker. And I was smitten by him. It's January 1994. And I'm singing at the Charleston in Chicago. The Charleston is a little bar, and it's an open mic night. And I'm here because of cancer. 2 days ago, I was in Evanston Hospital getting thyroid cancer removed from my throat. My throat that was always so tight and shut down. They took out the cancer, and I told my friend Andrew when I was in the hospital that all I wanted to do was sing. I don't care where, I don't care when. I have a guitar, I just want to sing. So I go to the Charleston for the open mic. And the thing is, just yesterday, I was at home at my parents' house, visiting from Los Angeles, reading The Reader, which is an arts and culture publication. Anybody familiar? In the back of The Reader, there are some classifieds ads. And I was reading the classifieds ads. Now, it's not that cool to put out a classifieds ad to meet somebody. If you want to meet somebody, usually you just go do it through friends, or you go to a bar or something like that. But I'm reading the classifieds ads, and there's this one ad of a man seeking a woman, and it is poetry. It mentions fair-haired woman with an effervescent smile. And I am just smitten by this ad. I just love this person, whoever this is. But I'm thinking, wow, these people must be so lonely. How lonely and sad that they're putting an ad out in a newspaper so that they can meet people. But I say, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna call. So I pick up the phone and I dial the number and I say, hey, my name is Steph and I'll be singing at the Charleston tomorrow night. Hope to see you there. So I'm at the Charleston, and it's packed. There are people everywhere. January 1994. Everybody in Chicago is at the Charleston. It's a Wednesday night, and I'm up there singing my song, having the time of my life, having just had cancer removed from my body, and in walks this guy, this long-haired, dark-haired, swaggery rock and roll dude. And I'm thinking, oh, no, not this again, not this again. I had just gotten over that other guy, Rich. Not another Rich, not for me, no thank you. And besides, I don't go for, good-looking guys. You know that's trouble. Sorry, Corey. In he walks. I'm singing a song, and it's like he's lit from behind, and it's like he's there just to meet me. And he's smiling at me, he's beaming at me. And I'm like, oh my God, is this the Personals ad guy, the poet who wrote that beautiful classified ad? It can't be, that can't be. No way would he be that good looking, that confident, swagger. And I finish my set, and I go to the bar and talk to my friends, and they're like, let's go, it's 12:30 in the morning, we got jobs. And I'm like, well, I don't have a job, I can hang out all night. Oh, but I was driving, so I have to get them home. But the swaggery guy, the classifieds ad guy, he's at the other end of the bar, and he starts walking toward me. Saunter, cool. And I'm like, all right, mister, what you got? What's your fancy pickup line? What are you gonna say? And he gets right to me, about 2 feet away from me, and he looks right at me. And then his eyes go really big, and he can't think of anything to say. And he starts looking at the ground and shuffling his feet and getting all awkward and weird. And I'm like, ooh, now you're interesting. Oh, you're not just a swagger cool. And he says, I would love to chat with you and continue this conversation another time. And I'm like, wow, classy. We date for 2 whole weeks, and we don't even mention the classifieds ad because we're so embarrassed about it. I'm just thinking, I don't want to mention it. He doesn't want to mention it, but he keeps referencing it, like your effervescent smile, he'll say, or something like that. And I'll just think, okay, we're just not talking about it. But then I think, wait a minute, what if this isn't the classifieds guy? So I have my friend Avril call the classifieds guy. We look up the number, and she calls him up, and she says, "Are you John? Is this John? Have you been dating my friend Steffi for 2 whole weeks and not even mentioning the classifieds ad?" And within 30 minutes, she gets a call. And it's the classifieds guy. And he says, "Hey, I was at the Charleston. I saw your girl singing. I saw her talking to another guy. So I left. And by the way, I was writing that little classifieds because I'm in grad school for writing, and I wanted to see if my writing was good enough to attract women, and yes, it was." So now I had to go back to my new boyfriend and say, "Listen, this is gonna sound really weird, but I thought you were a poet, and apparently you're not, but if you can, would you please write me a poem just to prove that you at least have some writing skills?" And he says, "Sure." It's December of 2020, COVID. And I see the phone ringing. It's my friend Jay. Wow, Jay. Jay was like sex and sun and fun and swagger, of course. And I'm wondering, why the hell is Jay calling me? His wife hates me. She knows too much. I pick up the phone and he says, "Hey, Steph, I just want you to know my brother has been killed. I'm heartbroken, and all I can do is think about you, because you're a real friend to me. And I've been listening to your podcast, and I've been listening to your voice, and it's been so soothing." And I'm like, wow, that's amazing, and I'm so sorry about your brother. And we talk, and we start sending each other text messages. And I'm thinking, is this appropriate? He tells me how much he misses me, and I say, yeah, me too. On his way back from Las Vegas visiting his mother to Brooklyn, where he lives, he stops by in Chicago. And we get all our high school friends together at my house, and we're sitting around the fire, and we're talking, and we're all reminiscing, and we're crying, and we're laughing, and we're sharing our time together. And I know John is having trouble in his marriage. And I know he's reaching out to me because I'm a familiar person. He says to me, I don't know if I'm going to be married forever. And I said, yeah, me too. But at the end of the night, we both look at each other and we just know marriage has its ups and downs. Some days you think you're going to make it, some days you don't. We both know we're going to go back to our respective spouses and we're going to be okay. And just as he's leaving, he comes straight up to me and he whispers in my ear, Steffi, I've always loved you. And I say, me too. One more. No, 2 more. 2 quickies. It's August of 2019, and we are driving through Bucktown. We're trying to find it. What street was it on? What street was it on? And we're telling my son the same story over and over and over again. And he's so sick of it. But now we're telling him something new. And we're taking him to the place where it all began, the Charleston. And guess what? It's still there. The Charleston, the bar where my husband and I met each other. Now it's 30 years later. It's 25 years later, and our son is grown, And he says, why do you guys always talk about the Charleston? I know, Mom was singing, Dad walked in, you thought he was the personal dad, but he wasn't, everything worked out, you made him write a poem, blah, blah, blah. And I say, Charlie, you owe me a thank you, because I wanted to name you Charleston. And he said, why didn't you name me Charleston? I said, well, because nobody would let me name you Charleston. Your name is Charles. And he says, thank you, Mom. It's August 2025, and I'm sitting with my mom and my dad. My mom, 84, my dad, 89, at dinner, and we're eating veggie fried rice. My dad's a little shaky. He's got Parkinson's now. And I help him steady his plate, and I help him put the rice on the plate and all the food, and I sit down next to him to help him. And he looks up at me with his one big watery eye, his aging eye, and he says, thank you, Steffi. You're such a good daughter. And my throat tightens up just a little bit. Not because of fear, not because of anger, but because I see him, the big man who used to scare me so much, who led me to be with other men who weren't great for me. That man is my dad. He's a teddy bear, and I love him. Thank you.
That was Stephanie Rogers, all the way from Wilmette, Illinois.